basically in Europe we've just come out of a vote on the Tobacco Products Directive. This is a piece of legislation in Europe that's aiming to prevent young people from initiating smoking. Some of the key measures involved were banning characterising flavours such as menthol, bubblegum, chocolate, vanilla. Also trying to change the packaging to avoid attractive packaging which was attractive to young people and women, such as slim cigarette packaging which often look like lipsticks and perfumes. The vote was quite a successful vote. We managed to get some combined health warnings on the package. We managed to ban menthol, although it will have a temporary derogation. And overall we're very pleased with the vote.
Well, today we have an important event in the Assembly around looking at the whole issue of tobacco, looking at how we restrict tobacco and looking effectively how we save lives as a result of that. I'm very pleased as the Chair of the Health Committee to be able to formally introduce proceedings here today. It remains the case that in Ireland we have a high amount of tobacco related deaths and there's a duty and responsibility on all of us, both policymakers and NGOs, to engage to look at how we can restrict that. It's also very apparent that we have high levels of children smokers and probably more so in a lot of other countries. So what we need to do, I suppose, is get the message out very early. We need to look at how we can actually restrict tobacco sales. The Health Committee are currently looking at a tobacco retailer's bill to ensure that tobacco can't be sold freely to young children and young people, so that we can assist in some of the health outcomes that we need. So it's a really important event. I'm delighted that Martina Anderson is continuing to profile this piece of work through Europe. It's very positive that it's been brought here to the House of the Assembly today. What we need to do is, I suppose, is follow up from this, make sure the message goes out there and make sure we look at proper restrictions that protect all of our health, particularly our children and young people.
Well, today we talked about tobacco control in Ireland and in Europe. We saw the problems, we saw the influence of the tobacco industry, but in fact the tobacco industry has no arguments. We have an argument of public health. They give wrong arguments about effectiveness. Tobacco control is effective. For instance, in Canada, they had effective health warnings and young people have been reduced by 50%. So it's really working. If you introduce effective tobacco control policies, you will see that there will be less young people starting to smoke. And that's the aim of the tobacco control policy in Europe, making smoking less attractive. And it works. It works in Canada, it worked in Australia, and it will work in Europe and in North Ireland.
Well, today was crucially important given the fact that 2,300 people die in the north of Ireland every year. And when you extrapolate those figures and you think that that equates to 14 plane crashes taking place in the north of Ireland every year, one plane crash a month. Now, if that was the reality, none of us would go on a plane. And yet each of us know that there are 2,300 families, mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, grandparents dying every year, and the devastation that that's causing to households. And when I looked at the number of people that's hospitalised every year, again because of the fact that they've been taken ill because each cigarette that you smoke has got 70 cancerous substance in it. So this directive that I've been involved in taking through the European Parliament is primarily targeted at children and young people, because, call me naive, but I was appalled when I discovered that you get chocolate flavoured cigarettes, mint flavoured cigarettes, pineapple flavoured cigarettes, all of those flavours and cigarettes that are there to try to attract the palates of young people. And as I said, it reminded me of the child catcher in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, where you had somebody coming about lollipops trying to get children addicted to a deadly product. After all, the reason why we need to have this directive through is because it is the only product on the market. If you do exactly what it says on the tin, if you do exactly as the manufacturer has intended it to do, 50% of the population who do that will die. It was very important that we had the chair of the Health Committee here, Maeve McLaughlin, because Maeve McLaughlin is going to be working with myself, and both Maeve McLaughlin and I and many of our other Sinn Féin activists who are concerned about this, and we are in large number. We are going to put pressure on the Health Minister to do more than what he's doing at the moment, to attack those people and that product that's in the market, the most deadly product in the market, so that we can have that more restricted, so that we can have people here in the north living healthier and longer lives. And that's what we intend to do in the future.